Hello guys, this is Ronyan, and welcome back to my Interloper run of the Long Dark on the old version, .393. And we're in the house on Jackrabbit Island, I believe. About to sleep for a couple hours, and then we're going to go out and check the rabbit traps from, I think we left a few rabbit carcasses outside the house last time. So we're going to go check that out. I believe I got the some of the meat off of them, but I didn't get the pelts and the guts off them. And it's been about a week since I did the last recording, but this series I'm going to wrap it up really quickly here, hopefully, before we do Winter Mute. Start doing videos on Winter Mute in a few days. So let's harvest the guts and stuff off this rabbit. I think it's pretty cold out here, but no, 20 degrees is actually pretty warm for Interloper. I don't think I can get both of the things off this rabbit, so I'll just take the hide off them. And let's get back in the house and drop off that stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a live stream for the release of Winter Mute. As soon as it comes out and I can get it downloaded, I'm going to start doing that, so hope you guys can join. Check out the video on my channel for a little bit more information about that. I just uploaded it about an hour ago. Okay, kind of just checking the condition or the curing of some of those other things I have laying on the floor, or some of the other animal pelts. I've only got less than 1 hour of daylight left, so I have to figure out what I need to do here. They'll still have a few days left to cure. I guess I'll collect some sticks and this rosehip bush. And let's try to go over here and just looking at what I can make there. Okay, I need to reset this trap. Should be able to get a little bit more off this rabbit here. Oh, this one still even has meat on him. Yeah, I may have just caught that one today and not realized it. The rat traps deliver really quickly, guys, so it's pretty good to get your trapping started early on an Interloper. Like you saw in this run, sometimes you can set up the traps and literally overnight all of them will have a rabbit trapped in them. And this is one of the best places I know of in the game to trap rabbits. So I'm freezing, and I need to reset the snare next to the one I already caught. I'm not going to be able to completely clear out the rabbits that I had laying there. Let's take it back inside and deposit some of these pelts. Got a lot of rabbit meat on me. Some of its condition is getting fairly low, so I'd like to get all of that cooked pretty shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and craft an extra Old Man Beard's wound dressing so I can have that on me. Yeah, I always like to keep 2 of those on me at once, because it's occasionally necessary to use 2 of them in a short period of time. Let's light up the room here. Alright, so we have a ton of pelts, and I'm going to drop this gut here that I remembered I had. Ton of pelts and guts on the floor that are curing. That will give us a big profit in a few days. "10 hours of darkness left, but I'm tired, but not really tired. I can only sleep for 4 or 5 hours right now. So I'm gonna, it requires light to break that down. Not a whole lot you can do indoors at night. Unless you're willing to burn up all of your lantern oil doing it. Although I guess you could light up a fire and read a book next to the fire. Haven't really done that all that much, but it seems like a decent idea. Okay, we have slept, and let's go back outside. It's still dark. And it's still pretty cold. Although not crazy cold. I should still be able to get a little bit off of a rabbit if I want to. Yeah, travel tends to get pretty restrictive in the game the farther you go in Interloper. Sort of inevitable consequence of the fact that the weather deteriorates pretty rapidly after day 30, especially, is what I've noticed. I think I watched a video of Joltaz out past day 50 recently. I was pretty impressed by that. I haven't gotten to that point before. But yeah, Joltaz is known to be very good at this game, one of the better players, so it's no surprise that I can't quite do better than he can. I'm still planning on doing the his challenge in the Forlorn Muskeg region, though. It's kind of where you set out. You set out to stay in Forlorn Muskeg for an entire week, and to see how you do. So you pretend that you're confined to that region, even though you're not, and just see if you can make it. It's tough though. Forlorn Muskeg just doesn't have that much in the way of stuff you can use to survive, and it's a very hazardous region with wolves and the ice and everything. Take 2 steps in the wrong direction, you either got a wolf on you or you falling through the crack in the ice. Let's get this campfire lit up here. And if I do it next to the rabbits, we don't have much wind going, so that's not going to burn out. And I can harvest the carcasses here. Oh, that's right at 32 degrees. I think I should put a couple more sticks on that. Need a buffer zone in case the temperature drops more, which it usually does this time of night. Alright, got that. You can play around with a bit of the spacing from the fire. How warm you are is sort of a function of how far you are from the fire. It's got like a radius of maximum warmth, and then beyond that it slowly deteriorates. Or rapidly. Like within a couple of steps you can be back to the temperature of the ambient world. So you can kind of get on the outer edge of the warmth of the fire sometimes, and it'll allow you to do things that seem a bit weird. Spacing matters, and you can reach for the rabbit carcass. And while you're harvesting the carcass, once you start harvesting from a spot, you stay in that spot. You don't go over to the carcass, like get right in front of it or anything. So that's just one of the game mechanics that's interesting. So if you're fixed in that spot, you'll always receive the warmth bonus from the fire. You won't actually like move at all from where you were, and you can just like touch the toe of the rabbit from like 5 feet away and harvest them. You get some of this rabbit meat cooked. What are you guys most excited about Wintermute? I'm interested to know. I personally am most excited about the new region because of the amount of the town that's there, Milton, and the amount of like buildings that seem to be in that area. I just think it's going to be really interesting to explore all of that. That, and close second would be some of the cutscene work that they've done with the kind of some NPC type characters. I know they're not really active in the game yet, but we'll be able to see some other people for a change in the cutscenes. And I think that'll add a lot to the experience, but we'll see how it goes. So let's boil another gallon of water here. We're into the daylight now, and the weather's held up pretty well. We're on day 25, and I'm just checking out my skills here. We just hit carcass harvesting level 3 and cooking level 3 at the same time, I think. That's another thing about harvesting stuff piecewise. I think it gives you more of a bonus than harvesting it all at once. Like the cumulative amount from harvesting each individual item is more than the doing it all in one go. At least that used to be the case. I'm not confident that that's the case in the current version of the game. Making good use of the fire, cook up some rosehip tea. That'll be good in case we sprain our ankle or anything. Sprain our ankle or our wrist. We want to be able to use the bow, and you can't use the bow if you have a sprained wrist. Okay, our guts are almost, and hides are almost at 50% cured now. I'm just going to sleep a bit to warm up and get into a cooler part of the, or a warmer part of the day. Let's go ahead and drink some water, and we will go back outside pretty shortly here. Always equip your bow before you leave, basically, because you never know when a wolf could spring on you, and you just want to have it ready in case. If a wolf goes into a charge, if he's like hiding behind a tree right in front of you and he starts charging, you might be able to get a shot off if you have the bow already equipped. I can't guarantee you're going to hit him. In fact, you probably won't hit him if you're that surprised, but maybe you will if you're practiced enough. I found the bow to be a pretty hard weapon to use, to be honest. When I first started using it on an earlier version of the game, it seemed like it was easier to handle, and I was hitting like shot after shot. But now it seems like they've made it a little more difficult, or maybe my skill has just deteriorated, I don't know. So let's get the guts and the hide off this rabbit. Feels like 24 degrees. That's pretty nice. I was actually getting a windbreak bonus there as well. Right now I'm just focused on getting as many hides and guts down as possible. Still going to take at least a couple of days to get any of that fully cured where I can use it, but I'll have a large store becoming cured over the few days that I can do something else during that time if I want to. I can use it to craft some mittens possibly. Let's harvest this damaged snare here and get the reclaimed wood back out of it. As long as I have a gut, I can craft another one. I don't know if I have one now though. I don't think I do. I'm just gonna get some more reclaimed wood out of this table. I just needed something to do while I was warming up, basically. And didn't feel like sleeping, so I decided to chop the table down. You know, funny things you do when you're trying to survive. Cut all the furniture down in your house, you know. Kind of similar to what you do if you've ever played this War of Mine. The first thing you do is basically take an inventory on everything in your house and check all the cabinets and chop everything down and dig up all the dirt piles. So the never-ending process and requirement to collect sticks. It becomes sort of instinctual pretty quickly when you're playing this mode. Like, I don't even think about... Okay, well that hurt a lot more than it was supposed to. I was supposed to land further down on that rock. At least I had my rosehip tea there already. So I shouldn't be in too bad a shape. The blowing snow is definitely making it a little more, a little harder to stand the temperature out here. I'm gonna head for this fishing camp over here. Hopefully I can make it pretty quick. Yeah, traveling overweight's not the ideal way to do this. It's 4 hours of daylight. Yeah, I'm going to drop some of this extra weight that I have on me. One nice thing about the ice is it's pretty easy to spot any piles of stuff that you have on the ice. Like, there's not much interfering with your view of seeing it. Okay, so now we can run a little bit. I just want to keep from losing much condition to a freezing state, which I just now hit. But I should only use I might lose 3% here. Might drop back down to 60%, but I think I'll get into the cabin before it goes down farther than that. Okay, and we're probably going to need to sleep a little bit here. I'm probably pretty tired as well. Yeah, I've pretty much already checked all of these buildings. Not too much left here. Let's eat some before we go to sleep. And drink. And then we'll pass a little bit of time here just to warm up. Decided not to sleep. And that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Join me in the next one, and thanks for watching.